Hey everyone, how are you doing this morning? It's Marla. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Good morning. This is going to be just kind of a quick informational video. I talk about things I use on my hair to sort of help my thinning hair. I know as a lot of women age, a lot of times their hair becomes thinner. It is very distressful, I think, especially as a woman, when you start seeing areas of your scalp becomes a little scary and you start investigating different things that might help. Now, I became aware of this actually through my husband because he is actually considering doing this. When he told me about it, I said, wow, I've never heard of that before. Maybe I'm one of the few people that doesn't know about it, but I thought I would at least put it out there to let you know about it in case some of you have thinning hair, are distressed by it, and are trying to look into ways to help to make your hair look thicker or appear thicker. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about something called scalp micropigmentation. And for short, I'm just going to call it SMP. What is scalp micropigmentation? Well, I know a lot of you out there are familiar with getting your eyebrows microbladed. It's sort of the same concept, but a little bit a different procedure. And it really works very well for number one, if you have a widow's peak, you're trying to kind of camouflage, or if you have thinning areas of your hair, you still have hair, but you have some thinning spots that you're trying to make look fuller. It also works really well for males who are bald. And what it does is it creates the illusion of having hair. Not necessarily growing your own hair, but I know a lot of people can't grow their own hair. It just doesn't work. Their hair is just not growing in those areas anymore. So what it does, it gives the illusion of having hair in those areas. How does it work? If you're familiar with microblading your eyebrows, you've seen it on YouTube, you can see how it's manually done with a blade. They go in there and they create sort of lines that look like hair on the eyebrows. SMP, on the other hand, is done with an electronic tattoo device. So it's sort of like tattooing your scalp to have those areas that are thinner look fuller. And I'm going to show you some pictures. You can see before and afters. You can see what this SMP has done for some people. Now, the skin on your scalp is a lot thicker than the skin on your eyebrow. That's why you need a particular device that can kind of get through the skin to put in the pigment on your scalp. So it requires a lot more power, and that's why an electric tattoo device is used. And the goal of SMP is to give you kind of the illusion of hair-like looking lines to make it look like you have hair in those areas that are thinning on your scalp. But instead of using dots, what the SMP does, it's layering dots in different hues of black. I know they can also do this on gray hair. They use it to kind of replicate the look of a shadow on your scalp. So it kind of creates a very natural looking depth and definition to the area on the scalp. The dots look like a natural hair follicle, and then they just kind of blend in with your complexion. Now, as you can imagine, finding a good SMP tattoo artist is the most important part of this process. You want to really seek out someone that is talented in doing SMP because, it can kind of, not so much on women, but I think on men who are bald, you really don't want to look like you have a cap on your head. You really want to find someone that is really very good at what they do. You really have to do some research to seek out an SMP artist that can do a really good job on your scalp to make it look like it's just the illusion of hair, make it look very natural. Price of this, I know it ranges depending on where you live in the country. It also ranges on how much area of hair you want to have done, and even small areas of hair like a widow's peak, or temples can sometimes require several sessions. I think it can range as low as $400, which is really on the low side. And I think if you're a male that's looking to kind of have it done all of your scalp, from what I've seen, it can range up to a couple $1,000s. SMP is considered kind of a semi-permanent procedure. They say it can last up to several years, possibly 8 years, but obviously the skin on your scalp exfoliates like the skin everywhere else. So over time, the tattooing that they did on the scalp will fade. Some of the things to be aware of, if you're someone that has any type of skin condition, psoriasis, eczema, allergies to dyes, things like that, you have to be more cautious. You don't want to go in there if you have an active breakout on your scalp, and it may even be something that would not be indicated for you. But I wanted to let you know about this. I thought the procedure was quite interesting. I thought it really did give a very natural looking illusion of hair. It does last up to, as they say, 8 years, which is a really long time not to have to put, hair growing products on your hair. Just kind of have that tattooing done. They can do it in any shade. They can do it in the shades of your hair color. I've seen it on gray hair, brown hair, blonde hair, and it does really help with making the hair look thicker. So wanted to put that out there in the universe in case some of you weren't familiar with this procedure and you're really struggling, looking for something that will help camouflage areas of thinning on your hair. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye from Orla.